What's up, YouTube? Daniel back for another video here on one of my many morning walks that I'll be doing for the rest of my life, because they essentially help you connect like nothing else. This one is very late. Essentially, I had a trip yesterday, came back from the US. I went to New Jersey, went to go watch the Real Madrid PSG soccer game, which was crazy. Fan of neither team. I actually don't even like Madrid. I'm a Barcelona fan. But just being able to experience those two teams play high level soccer, definitely in the top 5 teams in the world for club level, and watching a semifinal in the atmosphere is simply a blessing. Able to do it with my dad as well, who got me into soccer when I was a kid. So, football, soccer if you're American. Or football if you're Latino. But essentially, something I wanted to touch on, as things have been coming full circle in my life. Essentially, when I started this journey, really started this journey of self-development. Before it was investing, and I thought it was self-development, but it was just me chasing money, especially when I invested in the Andrew Tate mentorship, which was still called the War Room. But all that is men chasing money, trying to be someone they're not, which is Tate, and thinking that the external is going to fulfill them. Basically working for the devil. And when I had to see the devil, basically get to the point where I saw the devil, realized where my life was going. I was full of vices and lust, and thinking everything was outside of myself. When I realized that is when I actually invested in the right person, who is Yados, my mentor now, Lados, and he is the person that has helped shape me into the person I am now. When I approached him, I thought I was a person that was doing the right thing, operating the right way, but I was basically just doing what society was saying, which was working for the devil, is chase money, chase status, everything else will take care of itself. That I realize now is fully living in fear, and I'll explain why. And also, I was in a huge rush to do all of this, so I thought, the faster I get money and the faster I get rich, the faster I'll have unlocked the game of life, and I can do everything I want to do and fulfill all my desires, blah blah blah, whatever it is. Basically, not knowing that my ego was trying to trick me into chasing something to fulfill its desires. And that was how it was working. There was really nothing about me as a person, spiritually, internally, that was actually going to benefit. It was all the devil using me and my ego and fear to get what he wanted, which was me to work for him. But thankfully, Yados helped me realize that. One of the things he mentioned always, that you're always in a rush. Which at that point I don't understand, because I was living fully in the ego, like I said. What's this guy talking about? Like, why is he not in a rush? Like, why does he not want everything now and want to accomplish everything now? But then, over time, as I was in this program, doing the habits, removing everything I needed to do, no vices, the biggest one. But, working out twice a day, not missing, wake up time, macros, removing myself from environments of people that were chasing and doing the things that weren't helping. So I moved myself from that Tate community. And once I did that, is when I found the most important thing, which was God. And ever since I've had moments with him, I've had the best days of my life. Being able to connect with him, I've had moments where I've literally cried doing burpees. Sounds stupid to the person watching this and living in, still an ego. But I've had moments where I've cried doing burpees. And I'll remember those moments more than the times I've had, threesomes, let's say, with women, which was what I was chasing before with relationships and all of that stuff. So I'm gonna sit down and finish this, but it's crazy once you do find the spiritual side of yourself, no matter what area you're in, it's possible. Like I said, me, out of anyone, shouldn't have found God. Your kids, it shouldn't. Will be the hardest case for me to find God, because I was such in a rush, like I said, and thinking, oh, let me approach this guy. So I approached Seattle, so all I saw was money. And another thing as well is, like, you only see in a person what you lack in yourself. So I saw him. He had many different things. He had everything, you know, the body, relationships. He was spiritually connected. He had the mindset. But all I saw was the money, because I saw that I was lacking. And you know, I didn't see the other areas that he had figured out, and he helped me with the spiritual one, relationships as well. So many different aspects, mental, it's crazy. But, you know, in terms of, you know, fear right now are watching and are in a rush, thinking money is the answer. You live in fear, and your ego tricks you into thinking that it's not fear, that it's, you know, you have control of your life because you're attacking some goal. It's monetary, of course, and thinking, you know, yeah, if you get that goal, that's when you get the feeling you're looking for, and that is essentially how life works. But you're completely wrong. And after a year and a bit working with Yados, and also coach I have now, Mike, who's helping me reach a different level, crazy level, in terms of spirituality and learning more about myself, you realize that rushing, being in a rush, and chasing is actually, the biggest level of fear. And the reason why is because you're operating in huge lack. You have a fear, first off, if you're rushing for money, poverty. So anything you do is, your mindset is off to get money first, everything else will follow. You're scared of, you know, the devil's using your fear of poverty against you and making you rush, you know, do things to make you busy, or, you know, get self gratification, or you benefiting from, you know, finances. Fear of poverty, fear of acceptance as well, of not being accepted. That's one thing that people that chase money, they think that once they have the money, they have the status, and everyone will accept them and clap for them and be like, oh, this guy's rich. Oh, now let's hang out with this guy. So you're looking for that. You have a fear of acceptance, that if you don't have those external things, you won't actually be accepted. So that's why you chase it so hard. And third is also fear of being alone. A lot of men at that point didn't realize it, but this is mostly for men. You have this fear that if you don't have the external, the money, the status, whatever it is, that you won't find the person that's, you know, your soulmate, essentially, the person that you're meant to be with. And that's also completely wrong. You're putting the external, making people judge you based off the external, and what you see you lack in yourself is what other people will see as well. That's one huge transition I saw. So if you have this, always see yourself with a lack of finances, whatever it is, lack of finances, lack of status, whoever you're with or whatever relationships you have will also see that as well. Everything is a mirror, not a window. So if you don't work on that, you know, lack that you see in yourself, which is only solved with the spiritual, finding out who you actually are and who God put you here to be, then any person you're with, no matter how much you make, no matter whatever it is, the goal you reach, you think the goal is if I have this much money or this car, then no. But when you're operating in lack and you get something, you're still operating in lack. It doesn't change how you operate. It just adds something to the picture. It's crazy. But if you don't change how you're operating with nothing right now, when you have everything and you're still operating with lack and feeling like shit, then it's still going to be the same, and you're going to need something else and think that's the answer. And then, you know, like you're like a hamster just in a wheel, just like, oh, it's this, and you just get emptier and emptier inside. And that was me. I started with women, and I thought, you know, this woman hurt me, so let me get all the experiences that the world tells you, or men tell you, or you see in movies, and you're like, oh shit, I want that. You know, I want the you know, what is it, threesomes or whatever it is, group sex, hot girlfriend, open relationships, multiple women, you know, rotation of women, all these different experiences. And I had all that. And every experience, you know, had a dopamine hit, but after that the baseline just gets lower and lower, and you just feel lower and lower, and you need more and more. And it's the drug addict that doesn't know he's a drug addict, essentially. And that's what it was for me. So that then later, because I'm operating that way in lack in one area, it moved to money. And I met Yados, and he's like, man, what do you like? You have to fix this, which is how you're operating. The objective isn't money, but learning how to live. And that is what he taught me. And that is what I'm trying to explain in the video, is how you operate day to day is what matters more than what you're working towards, or this feeling that you're trying to chase, which is the devil trying to promise you a feeling of once you get this goal, you're good, or you're going to feel better, or that lack will be gone. It's all a trick that is being played on you by your ego, by the devil, and it's because you don't have God guiding you, and you're not able to find him. When you're working for the devil, you won't find God, and it's not something you can just decide on and be like, okay, I'm full of vices, I just chase money, I just chase status, I chase everything external, but today I'm gonna wake up and find God. That's not how it works. You have to remove everything, sacrifice everything that you think you needed at one point, suffer mentally, physically, spiritually, financially as well, investing in yourself, putting things on the line to help you grow. And that's when God will find you. And he'll speak to you through your conscience. And, you can only understand this once you're at that level or moving towards that level. Once you're suffering enough, he sees you suffering, he's preparing you through suffering. That's how he prepares people. The devil destroys you through instant pleasure, and God prepares you through suffering. And it's not the suffering where you're just in constant pain and just, it's not like torture. It's a good suffering. It's suffering that grows you into the person you're supposed to be. Men or women watching this, but realize that society is programming you backwards. Everything is backwards once you work on the spiritual side of yourself, because everyone is just chasing in one way or another, especially in the West. You can go to US, Canada's similar, but a dumb, lower version of it. But everyone's chasing something, trying to compete with each other's, things they've gotten, or, possessions. This guy has this car, but let me get this car. And they're all just competing, and it's all like basically a dick measuring contest. But what I'm trying to say here is, if you're in that mode right now where you're just chasing everything, realize you can get out, and the way out is to find your spirit. And looking back, I never thought I'd be able to get out. I never thought I needed to get out until I did, and I met the people that God put in my life to help me get out. And now I've had this crazy growth, and like I said, it's come full circle, because now I've been meeting people that have been coming into the program. I'm still in his program, and they were exactly where I was a year ago, and I've been able to help them with the advice that Yados was giving me of, don't rush, focus on the process and the habits, and it will change you into the person you're supposed to be, which is you finding God and him giving you purpose again and finding what you're supposed to do. So yeah, if you're, like I said, rushing right now, understand that you are working for the devil. Your ego won't let you see it until you won't know until you know. You can't see it until you see it, and then once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's like me pulling back a curtain and you seeing what's behind it. It's exactly how it works when you get into the spiritual side of your life and actually untap that. And I realize everyone has a belief in something greater, but what they don't want to do is let that, higher power judge how they live their life, because they want to have things their way. But I mean, there's your plan and there's God's plan. And how many times have you wanted something that's not gone that way, but you still think it's in your power to conduct your life? You know what I mean? Like there's a higher power for a reason. There's something that has brought you here for a purpose that you don't see. You think it's money. Everyone thinks the objective is money, but it's, like I said, learning how to live first, and then serving people with the gifts that have been given to you. And you only find that by removing and suffering and not adding and looking for instant pleasure and living hedonistic like I was. This is coming from a person that was chasing women for 3 years, not missing a weekend, sacrifice, financial relationships, family time, everything like that. Just chase this thing that I thought I needed. And once I got all those experiences, I felt emptier than ever. And that's when I saw the devil. And that's another video, you can watch that. But I essentially wanted to share this because anybody I've seen more and more that is living for society is living for self-destruction. And the only way to actually find any, salvation and any eternal life is by working for God and removing everything that society tells you need. So, crazy how it works. Crazy that I'm able to have to make this video after a year, only a year. Seems like a long time, but if you saw me before, you would not be able to recognize me. Energy is different. How I conduct myself and operate is different. And the next thing is just fulfilling myself enough where everything else will attract as a consequence. That's the ultimate goal. Filling your internal cup and not looking for it externally with lack, like I said, because lack is the devil. What the devil uses, using your fears against you to make you chase like a hamster in a wheel. So yeah, that is the video. Hope you liked it. And also, one last thing before we end this is to experience everything that you're leaving for the future now. Stop putting these goals and thinking you're allowed to feel something in the future when all you have is the present. That's very cliche and sounds very cliche, but the journey you're looking for is happening right now. It's not in some future when you think you have everything, because you can only experience everything you have as a person you are right now. There is no future. You can't predict any future person. The only thing you can predict is how much you're growing. How do you think you could say control, or help God increase is how much better you feel internally with the habits of suffering and removing. So that's one last thing I wanted to add in there, because I had a crazy call, but that was my mentor. And if you understand that fully, it's going to change things like you for things for you like crazy, like it will for me. But anyways, I'm going to finish my walk, start the rest of my day. And yeah, we'll talk. In the meantime, as always, keep killing it.